الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وبارك وسلم أما بعد. Alhamdulillah, today is the first of Ramadan. We are still in lockdown, our fourth week in lockdown. As you'll notice behind me that the masjid absolutely empty. So Alhamdulillah, Jazakallah, Shukran to Allah for live streaming. Shukran to Allah for the system. So we can still communicate and correspond with one another through the Bilal system. In the Ramadan's past, always what we are going to read in the Taraweeh this evening, we usually give a small little tafseer about what is going to be read. Basically a synopsis of what is going to be read. And we know that last night we started with Surah Baqarah. In the first juz, let's just recap last night. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala about the children of Israel, the Bani Israel, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Ya Bani Israel, adhkuru ni'mati allati alaykum wa anni faddaltukum ala al-alamin. Where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, O children of Israel, remember my favors which I bestowed upon you. All the different favors. For example, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and remember the time when we delivered you from the Pharaoh. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the 50th verse, Allah ta'ala says, and وَإِذْ فَرَقَنَا بِكُمُ الْبَحْرَ, and we divided the sea for you. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also says that we appointed the 40 nights for Musa alayhi salatu wasalam. And then when Musa alayhi salatu wasalam went up onto the mountain, then your people made a calf, talking to the Bani Israel. And yet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgave you. And also Allah ta'ala speaks about the cloud that was overshadowing, that was above the Bani Israel when they were roaming around the desert. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about the cloud as well. But then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also spoke about that every day Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used to give the Bani Israel, the children of Israel, manna and salwa. Manna and salwa, it was like bread and chicken that was, they used to find it on the trees. It's food of Jannah. Every day Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used to give them the food of Jannah. So the Bani Israel came along and they told Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, وَإِذْ قُلْتُمْ يَا مُوسَى لَن نَصْبِرَ عَلَىٰ طَعَامٍ وَاحِدٍ. Oh Musa, we are not happy with one type of food. You make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala must give us from the earth, must give us the dunya, give us the green herbs, give us the cucumbers, give us the lentils, give us the onions. And yes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave them the dunya, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took away the akhirah from them. Allah ta'ala took away the manna and salwa from them as well. Today we are going to carry on with Surah Baqarah. In Surah Baqarah, why did Surah Baqarah get its name? Last night we read the incident why Surah Baqarah got the name, the cow or the heifer, cattle. There is a little incident that happened. وَإِذْ قَالَ مُوسَى لِقَوْمِهِ إِنَّ اللَّهَ يَأْمُرُكُمْ أَن تَذْبَحُوا بَقَرَةً. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala came to, or Musa alayhi salatu wasalam came to his people, and he told his people that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has ordered you to sacrifice a heifer, has ordered you to sacrifice a cow. Why did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala order you to sacrifice a cow? The reason was because there was a time, in the time of Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, there was a man by the name of Amir. Amir, he was murdered. And nobody knew who murdered Amir. When they came to Musa alayhi salatu wasalam to find out who murdered Amir, it so happened that Musa alayhi salatu wasalam made dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says says, tell the people, they must slaughter a heifer, they must slaughter a cow, and they must take a piece of this cow, this piece of beef, and they must smite it or wipe it over the dead body. Then through the miracle of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, through the qudra of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this body will come to life, and this body will say, who murdered this person? Who murdered this person? But the Bani Israel, being the Bani Israel, what they did was, they started posing questions to Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, trying to make life difficult for Musa alayhi salatu wasalam. Allah Ta'ala told him, slaughter a cow. They came to Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, and then they said, oh Musa, قَالُوا دُعُ لَنَا رَبَّكَ يُبَيِّن لَنَا مَا هِي. What kind of a cow must it be? Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, it must be such a. Then they came again to Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, قَالُوا دُعُ لَنَا رَبَّكَ يُبَيِّن لَنَا مَا لَوْنُهَا. What color must the cow be? Allah Ta'ala said, a yellow cow. All what Allah Ta'ala wanted, a straightforward to be slaughtered. But they wanted to be technical. And Allah Ta'ala made it difficult. That it must be such a cow, it must be yellow, it mustn't be a cow that has plowed the grounds, etc. And they couldn't find a cow. Until there was a very young boy, very pious boy. He was looking after his parents, he was looking after his mom. And he had this cow. And then he had the cow that fitted the description that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wanted. But an exorbitant amount had to be paid for this cow. When the cow or when the heifer was skinned, the entire skin had to be filled with gold, and then that was the amount that was given to for the cow, and it was paid for the cow, and then they slaughtered the cow. What we learn from this is, sometimes we come along, Allah Ta'ala tells us, don't drink alcohol, don't wear silk for men, don't wear gold for men, don't eat pork. All these things have got a reason. There is an answer, why don't we do these things? But the first and foremost answer is, that is what we say, La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. There's no God worthy of Allah, and Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. I submit wholly, fully to the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Whatever Allah tells me to do, I will do. Whatever Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam tells me to do, I will do. I will not question it. Answers we will find, that is secondary. But because Allah told me not to drink wine, that is why I'm not drinking wine. Because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught me not to wear gold for men, that is why I'm not wearing gold. So that's how the surah got its name, Surah Baqarah. So inshallah tonight, those of us that are reading 1.25 juz every night, or not every night, for the first 4 nights, and then we will read 1 juz after the first 4 nights, then we'll finish on the 29th night inshallah. So we started the second quarter of the second para, and Allah of the second juz. Allah Ta'ala says, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ليس البر أن تولوا وجوهكم قبل المشرق والمغرب. What does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says? Virtue is not merely that you turn your face towards the east and the west, but the great virtue is that those who believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and in the last day, in the angels and the books, etc., etc. Why was this ayat revealed? Because when we mentioned yesterday, or when we mentioned a little earlier, what we read yesterday, that the Bani Israel were being told about their naughtiness. Basically, they were being belittled to say how disobedient they were to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the Dawood and the Nasara, they came along to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and they told the Prophet of Allah, or they said, Ya Rasulullah, that how can you be belittling us, or how can the Quran be telling such and such things about us? We perform our salah, we do this, we do that, we do everything else. These are the good things that we do. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, virtue is not merely that you turn your face towards the east and the west. Virtue is not merely that you only make salah and you don't forget about and you don't do anything else. That is what some people do as well. We think that my beard is long, I wear a turban, I perform my 5 times daily salah, now I'm better than everybody else. No, absolutely not. These are things that are known as huququllah, the rights towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If I do not perform salah, that is between who? Between me and Allah. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to forgive me, Allah will forgive me. If Allah doesn't want to forgive me, Allah will not forgive me. If I drink wine, that is between me and Allah. Why? Allah ta'ala told me not to drink wine, and I am drinking wine, that is between me and Allah. But the moment I drink wine, and in stupor of drunkenness I go, and I beat up a family member, I go and I beat up my wife or my children. Why? Because I am drunk. Now I've transgressed the laws of Allah, and I've transgressed the laws of ibad, the huququl ibad. Understood? I can go and sit whole day on the musalla. Entire month of Ramadan, I can sit on the musalla and beg Allah, oh Allah, forgive me for beating my wife, which I'm not supposed to do, it's haram. For hitting my children, which I'm not supposed to do, haram. Not in the reprimanding, but because I was drunk. Making ghiba, belittling, backbiting. I can sit whole day and ask Allah for forgiveness. Wallahi, Allah will not forgive me. Why? Because I've transgressed humanity. Until I go to my wife and I tell my wife, honey, I was drunk, I beat you, please make me maaf. Please forgive me. If she forgives, well and good. If she doesn't forgive, then I can still go to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and says, oh Allah, I asked for maaf, she didn't forgive me. Oh Allah, you make me maaf. You make me maaf. So virtue is not merely that you just turn your face towards the east and the west. No. Virtue is far more than that. Huququllah and huququl ibad as well. Further on, in what we're going to read tonight, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, كُتِبَ عَلَيْكُمُ إِذَا حَضْرَ أَحَدْكُمُ الْمَوْتِ. Prescribed for you when death approaches you is that you provide for those that you leave behind. Here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about our will. Our will. If you leave anything behind, no matter what it is, you do not sleep for 3 days, and your will must not be ready. Our will should be ready, up to date. That when we pass away, who gets what and who gets what according to the Quran and according to the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Every single one of us is supposed to have a will, male and female. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Kutiba alaykum, prescribed upon you, farz upon you is for you to have your will. Also Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about had al-qisas, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, kutiba alaykum the had al-qisas, a life for a life, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth as well. Further, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what we're going to read, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu kutiba alaykum as-siyam kama kutiba ala alladhina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun, the laws of fasting. Also Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about the laws of fasting in this surah as well. Also, why do we follow the moon? Or will not follow the moon? When they posed the question to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, yas'alunaka al-ahilla, they questioned you about the moon. Why did they question the Prophet ﷺ about the moon? The reason being why is because the moon, it waxes and it wanes, becomes bigger and smaller. The sun is a disk that just remains the same. So they asked the Prophet ﷺ about the moon. So the Prophet ﷺ said, the moon is something whereby we keep time by it, especially for the months of Hajj. Especially for the months of Hajj. Further on, in ayat number 190, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and fight in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with those people who fight with you. Fight in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with those people who fight with you, and do not wrong anybody. Do not go over the limits, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says. No doubt, Allah ta'ala does not love the wrongdoers. Why was this ayat revealed? Please, brothers and sisters, those who are listening at home, those who are watching on live streaming, please listen to this very, very attentively. Because it is something that the media, it is something that people use against us. Right? This ayat, when the Prophet ﷺ in the 6th year or the 7th year of Hijrah was going to make, or the 6th year was going to make an Umrah, the Prophet ﷺ was going, and then obviously we know the story that the Quraysh prohibited the Prophet ﷺ from coming into Mecca, and then thereafter they had to go back again, and when they went back, they came back again in the 7th year of the Hijrah. But obviously with the different treaties that came along, the Treaty of Hudaybiyah, that you were not allowed to come with this, and you're not allowed to come with arms, you're not allowed to come with your swords, you must come just to perform your Umrah, and you must go back again. So the Sahaba, the companions of the Prophet ﷺ, were very worried that, O Prophet of Allah, these are the months of Hajj. We are going to go there in the state of Ihram. When we come into the Haram area, we're going to be having no swords with us. Absolutely nothing. No swords, no spears, nothing. What would happen if the Quraysh comes along and they start fighting with us while we are in the Haram? We will be sitting ducks. So that is when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed, and fight those, or fight in the way of Allah while you are in the Haram, or while you are there in the front of the Kaaba with those people who fight you. You will protect your honor, you will protect your life, but do not transgress. Only those people who fight you, you will fight them. You will not go and fight the woman and the children, etc., etc. These are the laws of war. Fight the people who fight you. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the next ayah, وَاقْتُلُوهُمْ حَيْثُ ثَقِفْتُمُوهُمْ, and slay them wherever you find them, and turn them out of their homes wherever you find them as well. We turn them out of their homes. This is what I am trying to say. People will come along and say Islam, wa na'udhu billah, is such a horrible religion, is such a barbaric religion. Islam does not tolerate any other religion. Islam does not tolerate any other way of life because of this ayat here. Where Allah Ta'ala says, and slay them wherever you find them, and turn them out from and turn them out if they turn you out. It is written in the Quran. Slay them wherever you find them. Does that mean wherever you find a non-Muslim you're supposed to slay them? No, not at all. You are supposed to go and make reference to the ayat before that. The ayat before that refers to, O Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, when you come to Makkah, and you are in the state of Ihram, and you haven't got your swords with you, and you haven't got your and they fight with you, you are allowed to defend yourself. You are allowed, and if they go hide in their homes, you go and take them out of your homes. That is what you are allowed to do when they came to attack you, or if they come to attack you. Not at any given time. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and be mindful also when you attack them. Don't go and attack the children. Don't go and attack the woman. Be very merciful when you attack them. Not at any given time. So, people like to take ayat out of context. Out of context. Also Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about Surah Hajj. Or not Surah Hajj. Allah ta'ala speaks about Al-Hajj Ashru Ma'lumat, speaks about speaks about the laws of Hajj. Also Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about what we're going to read this evening, the laws pertaining to a woman when she is in a hayd, and what she's allowed to do and what she's not allowed to do. Also Allah ta'ala speaks about an oath, taking a qasam. Allah ta'ala says, Allah ta'ala does not seize you on futations or oaths that you do upon yourself. When we take a qasam, sometimes you find there's different types of qasams that we find. You find a person, there is somebody who is outside calling this brother. And I come in and say, Wallahi, that brother is calling you. When he goes outside, that brother is not there. The brother did call him. He says, Wallahi, the brother is calling you. The brother is not there. So that was not a false oath. That is not a false qasam. The brother did call him. Now the brother didn't call the person. And I go and say, that brother is calling you. Wallahi, that brother is calling you. That's a false qasam. For you to get forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you have to fast 3 days. And then you have to get to beg Allah. Never ever take a false qasam. Otherwise you have to fast 3 days. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about the laws of divorces as well. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when we come to the end of the second juz, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives the story of Dawood alayhi salatu wasalam and Jalut, the David and Goliath. So what happened here quickly, if I can just say it in 4 or 5 minutes before we make dua for before our Maghrib Salah. The people of Talut, they had no king in their dynasty. And Talut, he was a poor laborer. The Bani Israel, they thought that such an ordinary person, he was not entitled to kingship. He couldn't become a king. The Prophet said that kingship was not a privilege, but it was something that was given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And and it is a person usually with wisdom, with good physique, good stature in society as well, and he will become the king of the people. So what the Bani Israel had, they had a box with them. It was known as the Ark of the Covenant. In this box, they had a few relics from Musa alayhi salatu wasalam and Harun alayhi salatu wasalam. And whenever they used to go and fight, they used to take this box with them, the Ark of the Covenant, and always they used to win with this box. So what happened was, one day they never went with the box. Goliath and his army came along, Jalut. They conquered the Bani Israel, and they took this box, the Ark of the Covenant, with them. Until Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made it that the Ark of the Covenant was a fitna for the people of Jalut. It became a burden for them. It was more of a trouble than of a ni'mah for them than of a mercy. So what the people of Jalut did, they tied this Ark of the Covenant onto 2 little mules or 2 donkeys, and they made these 2 donkeys run. Wherever these donkeys would go, these donkeys will go. Or it was, some narrations go, it was 2 cattle that they tied it to. And the Ark of the Covenant was taken away from the people of Jalut. And it's so that these 2 animals came right in front of the house of Talut. And when it became in front of the house of Talut, it so happened that they said that this is a sign, and they made him the king of the Bani Israel. Then they had to go, well, they all got ready for jihad one day to go and fight against Goliath, to go and fight against Jalut. Talut, the Bani Israel, but most of them, they wanted to go for the booty. They wanted to go, their intentions were not sincere. So they went out in their droves, and thousands of them went out. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala only wanted those who were sincere in intention. Sincere in intention. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told Talut that when you go and you come to a certain river, the people that only drink 1 gulp, you will take them to go and fight against Goliath. When they came to the first river, it was dry. When they came to the second river, it was dry. And the people started getting thirsty. When they came to the third river, the river was flowing, and everybody that were basically, we could put it in inverted commas, the munafiqeen, the hypocrites that were there only for the booty, they started jumping into the river and they started drinking, and those were the people who got sick and their thirst weren't quenched. Those people who listened, 313 of them, they drank one cup, their thirst got quenched, and from amongst them was Dawood والسلام, and his brothers as well. When it so came that again Talut called the father of Dawood والسلام, and said, "Would like your sons to come along? Is there anyone who wants to go and fight against Jalut?" To cut a long story short, as we're running out of time, he says, "No. These 6 sons, they are stronger. You can choose one of them." He says, "No, there's another one." He says, "He's a youngster, he's looking after the sheep." He says, "No, bring that person along." But when Dawood والسلام, was walking, there were stones on the floor. And the stones told him, "Oh Dawood, pick us up, for we are the stones that will kill Jalut through the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala." Then he picked them up, he came there, he says, "I will go and I will kill Jalut." Jalut, the entire body armor, he had it in the sling, he slung the sling at Jalut, the stone went straight, the whole body, only the forehead was open, and the sling went through the forehead, came out at the back, and that's the way how Jalut was killed. And after that also, after Talut died, Dawood والسلام, he became king of the people of the Bani Israel. That is what we are going to read this evening. And also we are going to start off a little bit with Surah Ali Imran, the family of Imran. Then inshallah we will carry on tomorrow with a small little tafsir of Surah Ali Imran inshallah. Shukran wa ma alayna illa al-bala wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Inshallah, I think this evening Maghrib is at 56. So 17:56. Inshallah, we will make dua for about 4 or 5 minutes, and it is a very blessed time. And once we are finished, please do not spend our time in talking or wasting time. Let's spend it in dua. It is a very blessed time. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will accept our duas inshallah. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى ال سيدنا محمد وصحبه وبارك وسلم. اللهم ربنا تقبل منا انك انت السميع العليم وتب علينا يا مولانا انك انت التواب الرحيم. اللهم ربنا لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين. الحمد لله الحمد لله الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وبارك وسلم. اللهم ربنا تقبل منا صلاتنا وصيامنا وقيامنا وركوعنا وسجودنا وجميع أعمالنا. اللهم تقبل منا القليل وسامحنا بالكثير ولا تؤاخذنا بالتقصير. اللهم إنا نسألك العفو والعافية والمعافاة الدائمة في الدين والدنيا والآخرة. اللهم أجرنا من النار، اللهم أجرنا من النار، اللهم أجرنا الوالدين من النار، وأدخلنا الجنة مع الأبرار يا عزيز يا غفار يا رب العالمين. اللهم أنت شافي اشفي مرضانا، اللهم أنت شافي اشفي مرضانا، اللهم أنت شافي اشفي مرضانا وارحم موتانا. أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق. بسم الله الذي لا يضر مع اسمه شيء في الأرض ولا في السماء وهو السميع العليم. بسم الله الذي لا يضر مع اسمه شيء في الأرض ولا في السماء وهو السميع العليم. بسم الله الذي لا يضر مع اسمه شيء في الأرض ولا في السماء وهو السميع العليم. قال الله تبارك وتعالى: إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وأصحابه وبارك وسلم. اللهم لك صمنا وبك آمنا وعليك توكلنا وعلى رزقك أفطرنا فتقبل منا فتقبل منا فتقبل منا. وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وبارك وسلم. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والحمد لله رب العالمين. And since the time now is 17:51, and inshallah in Khabaroni we are breaking our fast at 17:56. As I mentioned, please let's for the last 3-4 minutes before we break our fast spend it in dua. And also the dua for breaking the fast is Allahumma laka sumtu wa ala rizqika aftartu. The dua for breaking the fast is Allahumma laka sumtu wa ala rizqika aftartu. Shukran, jazakallah.